really screws if you're hit. If you lose late game,
Okay guys, tonton dapat buat perlawanan low bracket. Siapakah bakal mara ke knockout best of 3 Homebois menentang Onic Philippines. So kita saksikan perlawanan pertama.
To start this game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been seeing a whole lot of different variants of Onic Philippines here in this tournament, MSC 2025 at the Esports World Cup. We've seen day 1 to day 4, crazy picks all around, but finally here for the qualifying matchup, they decide to go what works best. It's Loyi, a signature pick on the man who immortalized himself in the game with this pick at the M6 World Championship. Only difference is, it's been changed. Now you're visible. Welcome to the land of Dawn. Homeboys, can they deal with this?
Badang apa ambil dia?
These are also
some
of the picks which Super Friends introduced the entire idea of the Brave Smite emblem.
Aku tak boleh nak cakap, Jai ni aku tak tahu hidup tak hidup game ni. Marksman, kalau lead memang confirm mau score guys. Kalau Granger ni tak snowball.
So it's Tenacity, Brave Smite, and the same goes for Brusco. And it seems like they're banking on the idea of spamming their skills as much as they can with that additional cooldown reduction that they have.
Ni lain composition ni guys, susah nak cakap. 50 predict bah. Dia tengok macam mana.
Early from Brusco. Okay. Yeah, an interesting sight to behold here early on. Master Assassin on the other side for Mel QT in the gold lane, really still playing towards the strength of the Moskov again, up against the Granger. Still feels the confidence, even though we've been talking about it. He hasn't really been able to perform at the level we expected him, especially after watching MPL Malaysia. Everybody else seems pretty normal, nothing too crazy.
Except for that early flicker, I guess, that we really saw. But I probably it was just playing safe since he saw that Ivan was nearby, but King Kong tries to damage Vel just a bit since it might not be an easy task to actually go for the early pickup on the CC at this point. So I like how Homeboys are actually being very careful of where they decide to position
Link
themselves.
kenapa tak laku tak pastilah guys. Tak kena position dia nak bawa Link.
It seems like they really want to attempt and contest this first objective.
Yeah, mid prio already.
Vel. Peterter pertama ni tak contest dulu ni. Contest juga. Mal, boleh ke Mal? Oh ini belum badang lagi guys. Badang. Kan? Even flicker, okay, tak ada mati. Oh, flag.
Where could they go? So they,
I
mean, if this is the case, you'll always have to be careful if you're Homeboys, right?
Yeah. This is the thing, you know. Me and Midnight actually have spoken about a few things with the Loyi change. We thought that would make the Loyi obsolete in the meta. But the way that we saw Sans play it, that was the first time. That was the only time we've seen Loyi before this, by the way, guys. Is Sans using it in a way where it just scares your opponents. He would just use the diversion to give vision to the opponents. Opponents see the Loyi diversioning and they're like, oh, where do we go? They're behind us. They overthink.
Oh, Ivan finds Brusco.
Decide
to burst him down.
Pick off ni. Favors blood.
They secure first blood.
Jadi dapat kali Homeboys.
So yeah, when you mentioned that, I was worried about Homeboys and their capabilities of scouting out where Onic PH might be, checking the brushes and all that. But it seems like the call is just Izanami, or Ivan rather, committing the crowd control skills. If there's a target, then so be it. They have the tools to burst him down.
Now it's Izanami.
Balik kisah. Damage harapkan Moscow je.
Early Purify, yeah.
Joy okay juga.
Giving Homeboys so much respect.
Cuma frontliner tak ada menahan.
The instant Purify from Super Friends right as the skill 1 landed. And Kelra's doing a good job in lane right now. Mel QT's got to be careful.
Yeah, the matchup and the lane
Vel, 3 orang Vel.
Quite the struggle here for Mel QT, but what's important is really just
nak set up ni serius.
Being the Moskov here and doing
aman.
The map later on when needed from your team.
Swap lane yang dilakukan. Mengikuti pick off. Brusco menggunakan flicker mencari Izanami. Oi, got reflect Izanami. Brusco down. Oi, kalau menang ni guys Homeboys guys kan. Maksud aku menang lepas guys kan. Oi, bersyukur dulu ni. Malaysia ada 2 kill dekat quarter final. Betul yang kedua. Lepas dia mulakan oleh Onic, mudah didapatkan oleh King Kong.
So yeah, Homeboys, it's all about reactions from them. They've just been reacting to the moves of Onic Philippines.
Dekat quarter final kalah lah guys. 1. Kalau menang juga kat quarter final, alhamdulillah lah.
will keep himself safe under the turret, and Amal might just catch up to King Kong. Electrifying Beats already committed. Oh, the SOT also lands.
Ah,
And
Mel!
go in, but then there's
Okay,
the
okay,
right
dapat
timing
trade
to get
off,
the Kurt, but he
pick
gets
off.
punished
Ada tembok, ada tembok, ada
under
tembok.
the turret. While
Kurt,
he still
Kurt,
gets
Kurt.
commit the Dark Wave and the Infernal Pursuits, but he's up
Nice.
against 4, and he won't be able to survive that.
Baik.
Again, Homebois have
Agak
just
lain,
let
Onic,
Philippines
kenapa,
out all the way from the early stages of the game. Yes, they haven't been able to get neutral
Homebois pernah saya
objectives,
compare kat
but it
kelas,
goes
Pak.
to
Ya
show
tak, ya.
how Onic Philippines have been the ones proactively moving around the map. They've been proactively getting the position around neutral objectives, so they get the advantage there. But when it comes to just pure setup in team fights, Homebois have had Onic Philippines' number.
And it's not even being reactive in a bad way.
It's a good reaction,
It's a good reaction that we're seeing from Homebois because they've been holding the brushes really well. I would expect the faster rotations to come in from them, but it seems like they're using that to their advantage in a different way to just outposition Onic PH and find the right timings to go in and surprise them. But there's another diversion.
Ada diversion.
Spots where they're planning to go though, so him and MelQT will be able to keep themselves safe, while Onic at this point,
Pecah duk, atas duk.
yeah, might be settling to work on the objectives for now.
Tak ada respon ke?
A lot of times teams just panic whenever they see Onic Philippines, make these crazy moves, play with the pace that we have known them to play with. But Homebois, again, have just stayed calm and composed, and that's been what Onic Philippines have been struggling with.
Kau tengok sekarang ni, sebabkan Super Freeze pakai Louis kan, masing-masing pegang push tau. Tak keluar, simply keluar. Disiplinnya dia buat. Kau tengok.
So it comes down to the
Kalau
objective
tak dah
battle still,
lega-lega
and
ni kan.
when we're talking about that, it is still Onic Philippines
Yeah.
hold the lead. And it's a big
slight
bounty
lead.
on Amal that
Fight
Onic
turtle
PH
ke?
can claim.
Untuk Onic?
So comeback potential still on Onic and even the lead.
Although the goal
Ni
lead
okey
hasn't
ke? Goal lead
been growing that
200.
much between these two teams, this might be an opening for Homebois to do just that. They are
Conceal
in
daripada
full
Brusco.
control of the turtle. Ivan too uses the conceal, but Brusco
Allah,
finds the
Kurt
target
dapat
and
pula turtle-nya.
somehow Kurt gets the last hit on the turtle. Now they're chasing
Val,
after Homebois. There goes the
Engine,
fast
Val
execution.
ditumbangkan
King Kong
oleh
finds
King
the
Kong.
kill onto
Ada
Val.
strike daripada Izanami,
And
Izanami
Val
flicker.
gets access to
Nice, Mel!
but MelQT goes
Kurt mati ni.
With the SOD,
Mega kill
Amal
dapatkan oleh
cleans
Amal,
them
nice.
up. What a steal by Onic Philippines. Trying to adapt to this chess game that we've been having in Atlanta Dawn between Homebois and Onic Philippines. But right as they pull the trigger again, play aggressively, it's punished by Homebois. So this game has literally just been about waiting for overextensions and punishing.
Izanami duk bagi damage baik duk. Dia tahu damage dia, kau tengok. Dia kena damage ni, pam. Lepas tu 2. Dah segerak. Pure distraction. Baik duk.
That's what we've been seeing in the Atlanta Dawn. It's a punish battle, and I don't know who's winning. Because again, kills, Homebois, but everything else seemed to be Onic Philippines. So it's still a very even game.
And this is surprising to see for a team who is very well calculated in terms of their decisions. Onic Philippines are the ones constantly being punished. King Kong versus Amal won't be proceeding with the fight just yet.
Ada strike.
The Confederate airstrike is
Izanami
already
dia cancel. Alamak, Izanami tak flicker. Aduh. Izanami down.
Seems like he's getting some stacks in already with that Ranger. And this might be the change in tempo that they need because
Ish,
they're
jangan
able
main
to
terlampau
group
respect
up a
sangat,
bit more and
Homebois.
just let King Kong do King Kong things on the Lancelot. I mean, the first
Semua tahu dia bagi lah.
few times he did use the Lancelot
Diversion.
back then. It was always this kind of play. It's not just looking for the fights just yet. It's really
Ini
working
kan,
on
sebab
other things and
sebab
following
takut
up
kena
until
flank
they
je,
feel
duk.
confident enough to join the fight. Although that may
Dia
not
orang
be entirely
contoh macam Homebois. Homebois still menang kill tapi dia kalah objektif.
And now they slow the game entirely.
Total
Onic
3
Philippines,
tak
I think they
contest.
understood, what Homebois
Power
have been
tak
doing in
dapat.
the early game.
Macam
is
terlampau
back to that
respect,
fast
kan?
pace. And Onic Philippines slowed down their own tempo by a whole lot.
Jangan sampai
Utilizing
menahan sampai ke
divergence
sudah
to play
duk.
with that overthinking.
Mel.
Finds the target on to MelQT.
Flicker.
Mel
Oi,
doesn't get
dah lah lot
enough
hidup duk.
damage, doesn't land
Kalau
the
mati
right
Mel
amount of
confirm lot
bullets
ni.
just
Perang
yet
kat lot
though.
ni.
Okay, somehow this is a good standing for MelQT and
Diversion.
a really good situation for him. 2-0-2 on that
Pantai tu.
Moscow.
Yep, really good stuff. Ivan
Ada
walks up,
strike.
Tsunami slam.
Pick off.
He
Tsunami
decides to
slam.
commit it onto Kirk, who still has the flicker to somehow get out. Curtain call already committed by Vel as well.
Masing-masing tak nak
So
overcommit.
those are 2 ultimates already used. Actually, maybe 3 even, because Izanami doesn't have his feathered airstrike as well.
Big resources burnt out. Onic Philippines with a slowdown on the tempo. That could have been
Conceal pada Ivan.
Oh, Ivan trying to look for the knock up and
Mal.
he finds it. King Kong
Boleh, Mal.
keeps himself alive long
Kena
enough to
tutup
also
jalan dia.
find
Lot
kill.
mudah dapat kali King Kong.
That onto anyone, and Onic secures
Susah
the
ada Emal game ni
objective.
sumpah.
And there goes the
Ada
shutdown
badang,
kill
ada
onto
Povius,
Emal.
ada airstrike.
They get damaged by the Federer
Woi!
Wow, well played, Mel. That was a really good spot to recall. Just a
Ujung-ujung
pixel away
baik.
from being
Cik baik tak kena,
outside of
gila.
the bush. Really played around with those small little margins to get away. Onic Philippines though again have slowed the game down to a point where they
Aku
are
tahu je
comfortable.
okey lawan
They've
dia
gone back to
tapi
the
kan
previous
ada
style
badang ni.
of when teams
rasa
don't
patut
panic
tukar.
up against them, which is
Semak.
I think this is like an old M3 style Onic Philippines stats. It's
Nak
a banana
contest.
split. They've just been
Dia
constantly
tak semak
splitting
juga.
the map, playing it
Masuk
slowly,
okey.
utilizing the
Cuma
diversion
composition
to
team
get
yang lain,
back
duk hero
into
lain, duk
contention
kena buat
of the
kerja
neutral
untuk
objectives.
support supaya
And
Emal
that's
free
what
untuk
the big
dapatkan
lead
contest
is all
slot ni.
about now for
Aku
Onic
rasa gitu lah
Philippines.
game.
It's about getting structures and objectives.
Gila kau,
Kills
objektif
still
total
behind, another
tower tak ada
diversion
duk.
to get them
Baru satu
closer
tower duk.
to the big objective that they
Homebois.
want to get, which is
4,000
definitely
gold lead
that
dipegang
base
oleh
turret
Onic.
up top as they siege down. And Kelra, he's only had one Sky Piercer, but one
nak
big
drag
fight
lambat
could
sangat
change
kan.
everything.
Yep. It's nice to see Onic
Kira
adapting
level
to
13,
on
Mel
the
QT
fly,
level 11.
introducing those
King Kong
very
15.
familiar play styles too, which definitely are working for them here in this kind of situation. They've got some of the most crucial kills, the shutdown gold on Amal as well, and if the gold
Kenapa asyik bagi gila sekat
was
musuh?
very small up until
Saya coach dia, saya tak tahu.
I'd say 7 or 8 minute mark of this game. Now it's ballooned to 5k in their hands.
Malam tengok les
So
Emal.
it's looking to
Kurang
be
perform.
a very difficult situation for Homebois, but at least they have the tools to defend. They have the Farsa and the Moskov to somehow deal with the waves that are coming in. But now Onic PH, they might find, or they might seem a lot more confident to just go in with those surprise setups from Brusco if he finds another key target similar to how he has done it earlier.
But that's the point now for Onic Philippines, right? Early game, they were still reaching for a lead. That's why you saw again that fast-paced
Ivan
combo
dapat
from Onic,
position ni
constantly
untuk
looking
tangkap
for
sebenarnya ni.
something around the map. Ivan tsunami slam, but that's
Purify
what the
daripada
Purify is
Kera.
for.
Yeah.
Great reaction again. Back to the point. Onic don't need to look for those surprises anymore.
Diversion.
They can constantly throw feints like this, diversions to open up the map, but the early game where there was a lot of desperate moves from Onic Philippines won't be seen here because they already have a 5,600 gold lead and they'll just play for the next neutral objective.
Blade
Kita
armor
bagi
already
slot
picked
bapak.
up by
Tak guys,
Kirk
karat guys. Tak
as
leh.
well.
Kita once.
So Onic BH definitely at this point have a lot more ways to deal with the surprises that can come in from Homebois too if ever they're the ones who want to do that, because Ivan has been very consistent in looking for targets and looking for those setups. Even
King Kong ni guys.
just
Tengok,
by
guys.
looking at
10,000 gold
Kelra
lead.
and Melcutie.
22,200.
Kelra just needs one more item to complete his build on this
Why?
Ranger. Oh, and King Kong
Diversion,
might just find the
Vel.
kill
Nampaknya
down
bakal
low.
ditumbangkan.
He's looking for the kill on Vel.
Fear of
SOD
distraction.
will land, but they might not commit this anymore.
Ivan cari
Unless
position
Ivan
ni.
wants to actually go for it. Doesn't fight the knock-up onto King
Purify.
Kong, somehow gets to immune himself.
Mel,
though.
position,
But then
Mel.
Melcutie,
Duk,
he gets
ay,
stunned
guys, kenapa
by
dia
Kirk,
commit, ah?
So he won't be able to supply the damage. And that's
Tak
3
maksa
kills
sangat,
already
Emal
for
down
Onic,
triple
making
kill.
it
Walau,
4
guys.
because Kelra, he finds a triple.
Aku rasa kan second game ni kan dia okey-okey guys, tapi jangan terlampau respect duk.
Very unnecessary and
Fokus objektif dulu duk.
very weird to say because
Objektif
in
kemenangan,
this game it's
tower,
been a
benda tu
calm
duk.
and
Prioritikan
composed
dulu.
Homebois. They suddenly make a desperate play and it might cost them the game. 1 second on Vel. 2 base turrets will fall. Onic again. They wanna end.
Push meninggal terus, gila. What in the world my friend? 13 minit GG guys. Oh. Kau tahu apa buat? Game pertama ni menang oleh Onic Philippines. Nice try untuk Homebois. Comeback lah.
Wow.
Reset duk. Sumpah duk.
The calm before the
Objektif tak ada duk.
storm. We saw the storm and it was instant. How?
Jangan lupa like, komen dan bagi pendapat korang. Yang paling penting jangan lupa subscribe guys. We're gonna see on the second game. Let's go.
Yeah, I kind of feel